What's up guys, Metalshop TV here. We are at Rock Cafe in Prague and I'm sitting here with guys from Suicide Silence. How are you doing?
How's it going? How you doing? Pretty good. Hanging out. You
are currently on your European tour, so how is the tour going so far and do you have something special to point out?
Pretty much it's been pretty standard actually. We've been touring for so long already and we've done several tours with Caliban, so it's really cool to be out here, so I don't know.
It's been great. We've known Caliban for a long time, so a lot of friendship there. So immediately day one, we already know the guys. It's fun. It's been really cold, which we all knew it was going to happen. So we brought our big jackets, and shows have been great. And we're almost halfway.
Yeah. We've had a lot of birthdays on this tour.
Yeah, a lot of birthdays.
So a lot of people are getting really drunk and getting really hungover on life and stuff, so it's been kind of cool. We started off in Paris, so the shows there were very throw and go. Is that we call it throw and go, is when you go and throw your shit down and the bus leaves or your ride leaves, so you basically have to live with everyone else, which is fine. But you know, it's been good.
Yeah. Well, tonight we are in Czech Republic. We are in Prague. You've already played here. You played in Prague. You played at Brutal Assault. So when you hear Czech Republic, what comes to your mind?
Prostitution.
Oh, no,
and drugs.
I immediately think absinthe.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's, well, a lot of places have that like crazy stuff, but it's one place where our guitar tech, he's 23 and today's his birthday, but we're not gonna do anything. But if he wants to, there's a whole bad world out there and a beautiful world and a great world of stuff.
It's like the Las Vegas of Europe, but it's much prettier than Las Vegas, if that makes any sense. It's a really cool place to come, and usually you go into Czech Republic for one day, and then that's all you get. Germany, you get 10 fucking shows. Prague, Czech Republic, you usually get just one. So it's really special to be here.
Okay, so beautiful memories. That's cool. Yeah. Okay, so new album, Ross Robinson, famous producer, produced one of the biggest metal albums of all time.
A couple of them.
Yeah. So how did you get to work with him and who came up with the idea to approach him?
Well, the funny question is that, well, I mean, I pretty much met him. I live in Los Angeles and I went to some show. Okay, so before this record, we recorded 2 records with Steve Evans, and Steve Evans has worked with Ross Robinson on several projects, Sepultura, The Cure, a bunch of records together, and they've been best friends. Even Glassjaw, it was made by Ross and then mixed by Steve Evans. So, and Evans is a really good friend of mine. He always talked about Ross, but I never met him, and then I approached him. I was hammered at a show, and I was like, man, like, nice to meet you. Is it cool? Would you ever be down, like, fucking record to us, like, work with Sui? And he's like, yeah, man, I'd be down. I'm like, really? That's cool. It's like, we're writing a new record right now, and it's fucking gonna be weird. Like, we're trying to record raw, like no click, no samples. Everybody jams together in one room, and we write songs, and we keep fixing them and making them better and changing them and morphing them. And then he instantly goes kind of like, yeah, he's like, we always wanted to record with you, but it's not like, he's not the answer. The answer is somebody who has the power to capture somebody who's a metal band and not a metal band, and put it onto an album as a piece. You know, I did the whole record on tape. We used old analog tape and old preamps. But how was it working with him? Or was it the question?
Well, how did you met him for the first time? Or?
Oh yeah, well we through emails. And then eventually he came over to our rehearsal spot and hung out with us. And we just started talking. We didn't even really talk about music. We're not like sitting here like, oh, you're gonna like an album? What's like? We were just sitting there, we're like, oh shit, man, what kind of shoes are those? Oh, that's cool. And like we just started talking about theories and concepts and visions and the way we see life. And it for like hours we were talking about spiritual, like just weird hippie shit. And then at some point we're like, but yeah, we're gonna do the record for sure. Yeah, we should do that at some point, you know. So it was like very, very natural, not forced at all, and that's pretty much what happened.
Okay, and when we look at the recording process, what was the biggest difference in working with Ross, with let's say the previous people you worked with?
Well, weird enough, as the drummer, I would guess for most people it's different. The drummers for some bands you're the first one to go. You're the first person that they're gonna sit there, and you could do it many ways. You can have somebody who's a guitarist program everything, or the drummer, whatever, which is fine to save money. If you have money to spend on other stuff, do it. But it was the most complete different it was actually the same way we recorded the first Suicide Silence record. Yeah. Same exact way. We sat in a room together. I was 20 years old. It was me in a room with my guys, and they were all fucking cranked up. And then we said, go. We played the whole song after a year of playing every song all the time, you know. And that was natural for me because that's where I came up from. And then the second record, we did the whole like grid and with Machine for No Time to Bleed. Yeah. That song is just all like, everything was like put into spots, you know what I mean, and samples, and fucking sucks. It was the worst experience. I spent 2 months playing drums, and then they said, okay, that's cool, that's just the overheads. Now hit one drum at a time, and every time you hit it, try to find it, like, I don't know, it was really, really stupid. But it sounds cool. And the other records, we did them to click normal, like everyone's separate, but it was intense.
Well, I remember guys from Slipknot once said that he was throwing plates at them during recording process.
He breaks.
It's an interesting fact.
He breaks people down. Yeah, he does. If it's your time to record and to go, he's gonna go like, he's like, fuck man, dude, do it, go. Like he's like really like, and then it's like, yeah, he's like, what are you thinking about? What are you feeling right now? His mom is a pretty famous psychiatrist. She's a book writer, Byron Kate. So he's grown up with somebody who can have the ability to just. So him throwing plates is just like getting someone, because he was doing a track, and it was like, all right, he was playing it, and he was just playing it, and Ross was just like, fucking, he started pushing him, and they started trying to play it better, and then like we hear it back, and it just sounds like there's aggravation, there's core, there's.
Well, I mean, working with him, he'd like tortured me kind of in a good way for making an album, you know, but it was very psychological, when usually I'm just used to like, dude, just gotta play metal all sick and good and make it rad and not think about anything else but that. But I basically was thinking about other shit in my personal life and getting frustrated with shit. But then he threw pennies at me. He pushed me so hard where I fell on my back, and then he listened back. He's like, you didn't even fuck up. He's like, you were mad at me, huh? I was like, kind of. And then he hit me in the head with a pillow a few times. I mean, we're both like kind of laughing, but we're like kind of aggressive, trying to get some good shit out. And I got plenty of good shit out. And it's fun, but overwhelming at the same time, for sure.
It's everything like you, as a musician, we kind of did it as a bucket list, which means something like, oh, I want to do that like that one day in the future. And it took, 4 records and a death to really get there.
I'm glad you never threw a plate at me, though. That would probably hurt.
Yeah, it's cool, and I want to do the next one the same way. Yeah. And it's awesome to have that ability and make that friendship.
You also played a lot of shows with Korn last year.
Yeah.
Was that a bit of influence on a new record?
Well,
working with Ross and playing with Korn.
So I think that's a common mistake. People even said that bands that sound like we sound like Korn, and we sound like Deftones, and we sound like Rage, or we sound like whatever the fuck we sound like. We're all West Coast bands. We're metal bands, and we all actually have the same roots in the same place. And we actually we recorded on the same like machines they use for their records, and same thing with Sepultura, same thing with Slipknot, the same machines, like the actual same gear that we used, but it's just different people.
Yeah, I don't think it had anything to do with touring with Korn or producing with him. We were influenced by Korn when we were in high school.
Yeah, I was influenced by Korn when I was like
when we were kids. So like us starting to play instruments was kind of influenced by that already. So that no matter what, that's in our bloodstream, And just touring with them was just special. It didn't really like influence us more or anything. It was just special to tour with the band that you grew up loving, And working with Ross was working with the guy you grew up loving, his records that he made, But yeah, it was fucking awesome. Both of those things were great.
Well, I watched the video of you playing at Ozfest meets Notfest, playing your new song, and I was going through the comment section as you do.
I haven't.
And there were a couple of comments about including the clean vocals in your new song. Is this something we can expect from your new album?
There's clean vocals on like 70% of the album. Yeah. And it's not clean as in, he's either going or hoo. It's like when you listen to System of a Down, he's screaming and talking and doing himself. When you listen to Marilyn Manson, you listen to a person, it's called range, it's called dynamics, it's called fucking go for it. What's the song about? And like, so yeah, he felt, it's the first time he's ever been confident enough to do it, but you know, Eddie's always been a singer, as most, you know, people who can do that, but it's there's a lot of singing in it, there's a lot of screaming in it, there's a lot of everything in it. It's just something to expect. Is like, you know, of course there's melody in it. Yeah,
he didn't sing just to sing, it just came out, you know, so it felt normal and natural, and that's what it was, and that's what it is. But I love that kids write about that shit. They care so much.
They write about it all the time, so it's not going to be different. So your band is connected or is known for a certain sound. Do you feel like the new album will like change it or push it?
The sound is there. You know, we sound like, if the best way to explain it, we sound the way we sound live on a record. So we do soft shit, heavy shit, no matter what, it goes up and down. And that's the best way, because we sound like us, and that's what we are. We're not trying to sound different, like change our sound. If anything, it's just the same. Just
if anything, it's more us.
Yeah. It's not like, oh, they're not going to be heavy anymore. It's like, no, like if we just strike an open chord, it's heavy.
It's not a rap album or a country album. It's fucking us still, you know?
Yeah. It's just, yeah, it is what it is. So what's to expect is the same shit you've always expected, which is fucking dudes sitting there willing to fucking crucify ourselves for you as the fan that's listening.
Okay, so the last question. You've already announced that the new record will arrive in February 2017.
Yeah.
So when can we expect the first taste or first single?
I think we're getting a video. The Doris song, I think we're seeing that soon.
Yeah, it should be released once it's finished.
We just approved the video. We did like a 360 video, so you're inside of the live, the one that we played live at Knotfest. Yeah. That we shot stuff there and just put it. And it's like I think we're just gonna start putting songs out and just see how it goes. It's a cool song. It's a good intro to what's more to see. You know, it's like a preview of just a general. And it's crazy because that song, we wrote it and recorded it on that was the last song we recorded. Yeah. We recorded our whole record, and at the very end, we literally wrote a song and just said, let's start it like this and do this. And about 2 hours later, we played it 4 times and then found the best one, and it's crazy.
I think we'll be releasing a single this month. Yeah. Probably around the same time this comes out.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can chain them together.
Okay. So we're looking forward to it. Thank you for your time. Suicide Silence, Metalshop TV.